The phrase rest in peace does not seem to apply to commoners in this part of the world, especially having gone through hard times while alive. A look at this graveyard will make you wonder if indeed the departed souls are resting in peace. Welcome to public cemeteries in Lagos, a place meant to be the final resting place for the deceased. From Aton Cemetery, Yaba, to Ikoyi Cemetery, Akmino Cemetery, Ebutemeta, to Maitori Cemetery, Mushin, and Trinity Cemetery, Ajegunle. The site is the same. Most of the cemeteries are in a deplorable state, leaving you to wonder if indeed the departed souls, long and newly interred, can actually rest in peace in such a state of squalor. Bolanle Okusanya Feita is a third-generation undertaker who has worked in different cemeteries across the country. She runs LTJ funerals and believes it should matter to everyone where they are buried.
Should it matter where your loved one is buried? I think it should matter. It mattered in their lifetime, how they lived, where they lived. And so when they pass away, it should matter as well.
Burying the deceased is not exactly cheap. According to a staff of one of the cemeteries we visited, there are different grave options for families, depending on what they can afford. There is a permanent and temporary grave. When a family pays for a temporary grave, it means there won't be any mark to identify the person. Nothing will be built on it. But when one pays for a permanent grave, it means the person would always come back to pay homage or pray on the grave. Payment also depends on the age of the deceased. A permanent grave costs between 90,000 naira and 300,000 naira. Others go for between 400,000 naira and 1.5 million naira. There are also vault spaces. Despite the money being generated across these cemeteries, the managers in charge have found it difficult to guarantee both the tidiness of the graveyards and the safety of the corpses buried there, as there have been reports of looting of caskets and harvest of organs of corpses by criminals. Bolanle, however, has a different view. The funeral services provider believes the upkeep of the final resting place of the deceased should be the responsibility of the family of the deceased.
The government can't do everything. Our government is trying. We know that there are so many places where they can improve, but we can't leave everything to the government. I think every family should take responsibility. If every family took responsibility for how they are, have the graveside of their loved one is looked after, I think we'll be in a better place. It's just like buying land. If you bought a piece of land and you don't look after it, you can't blame the government for not looking after it. But if you bought a piece of land and you built something nice there and looked after it, did your maintenance, and it's very different, you know. The government will charge us land use charge for every property, but they don't charge land use charge for the grave. So is that land use charge, in quote, is the kind of thing that they need to be able to do the regular maintenance. So I don't think it's left to the government alone. I think people should take ownership and personal responsibility as well.
Ironically, the same can be said of the private cemeteries, even the one located right inside of a public cemetery. For instance, the Aton Cemetery in Yaba is a tale of one coin with different faces. Aton is one of the oldest public cemeteries in Nigeria and the final resting place of prominent Nigerians and even foreigners. It features a portion reserved for the British government and maintained by the Commonwealth Office for the burial of Nigerian soldiers who died in the service of the British Crown. Broken into sections, there is a section for the poor, while the other is reserved for the rich and privileged members of society. While the public section is overgrown by weeds and broken tombs because of poor maintenance, the private section, which is run by Ebony Casket Ventures, is well maintained and manned by security men. For the public section, families pay about 50,000 naira to the local government for space, while opening a vault costs 100,000 naira. The management also charges 100,000 naira for marble and granite permits while cross slab and marble go for 40,000 naira. But to use only the private cemeteries costs between 2 million to 5 million naira, depending on the sections you want your loved ones buried. Is there a role for the private sector in ensuring cemeteries are well kept and administered?
Cemetery is a place for the dead. You know, my brother used to call a cemetery a hotel for the dead. Because people don't see what you do at the cemetery, a lot of times people are not interested in doing it. The average person wants to do something that people can see them and praise them and thank them for it, even if they call it charitable work. So because people don't see it, people don't consider cemetery care. We have a foundation called the Olatunji Okusanya Memorial Foundation, in memory of my father and my brother, who both passed away in the course of doing funeral services. And one of the things my brother was very passionate about was cemetery care, looking after cemeteries. He was also very passionate about the concept that just because somebody has died does not mean that where they should be laid to rest should just be left anyhow.
Whether in death or in life, Nigerians deserve to rest in peace in a place well maintained and secured, irrespective of social class and status.